This year, some retailers started offering Black Friday sales from the beginning of November. This was done to try and alleviate overcrowding as retailers have to comply with COVID-19 regulations. But this is also an opportunity for retailers to maximize profit, and some have even extended their sales offers beyond Black Friday. Consumers are urged to plan for their purchases, have a budget, and to buy mostly what they need.
What we know, when I look back at last year's data, is we know that many South Africans took advantage of Black Friday, and many of them actually purchased things on credit. And as a credit bureau, we get to see that increase in spending. So we saw over a 4.5% increase in credit card spending compared to the previous month in October. We also saw an increased usage of revolving accounts, which you typically use to buy furniture, electronics, and clothing.
Transunion says their research shown that many people are likely to take out loans and increase their spending during Black Friday. Last year, there was an increase of 13% in credit accounts opened ahead of Black Friday. There was also a 35% increase in retail installment accounts opened, and these accounts are normally used for furniture and electronics. If you're going to use credit for your purchases, you might not necessarily benefit from the bargains due to the high interest you will be paying when you swipe your credit card.
We found that 6 months after last year's Black Friday, that almost half the accounts were already in arrears for people that took on credit to buy these Black Friday purchases. So the theory, and not just the theory, the data tells us that for the last 2 years, people that have taken on debt that they couldn't manage or couldn't pay off result in actually impacting their credit profile and impacting the ability to take on further credit facilities. What advice we can, however, give is that people should look to say, are there purchases that I must have from a Black Friday perspective versus may have?
Many consumers are opting to buy online to avoid the risk of contracting COVID-19. PayFlex, which is an online payment system, says it has seen a 100% retail sales volume increase since the beginning of November. Experts have some advice on how to avoid being a victim of scammers when shopping online.
You've got to use common sense. My grandfather always used to say to me that common sense is not that common. But the reality is that you in the bricks and mortar world, you're not going to go and leave your credit card on the table with a post-it note with your PIN. And that's the same thing that you'd apply in the online world. You're not going to put your credit card number together with your PIN on an email and send it to somebody. In the real world, you're not going to go and shop from a store or a corner shop that's just been set up and looks dodgy, a brand that you don't know. And so when you go online, stick to the stores and the brands that you know and are reputable, and brands that you've been referred to by other people.
You need to be cautious about spending habits to avoid being over-indebted after Black Friday. And just because something is labeled cheaper doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Try to do your homework days before Black Friday so that you are certain that prices have reduced. Naledi Matlapeng, SABC News, Johannesburg.